Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Hooch Report. Going off of last week's Muteman Hooch Report, I wanted to try another herbal liqueur and see if there's going to be any deep variation. I did mention before that all I had prior to the Muteman was the Jägermeister in the United States. The Muteman was actually more subdued, but it had a brighter note. It was less syrupy, and it was actually just really nice to sip on its own. When I was in Finland, I did see Valhalla, a herbal liqueur shot, in the stores as well. Even though it says Valhalla, it's actually produced and made in Finland. Finland is part of the Nordic countries, but they were never like the Vikings. So when I think of Valhalla, I think maybe like Norway or Sweden or Denmark. And if I'm wrong, well, you can let me know about that. However, I'm really excited to try this. I thought the bottle was really cool. It has a really nice matte texture. And let's see if it holds up to the Muteman. Maybe it's better, maybe it's worse. But we'll get into it. Alright, so let's kind of talk about this bottle. Like I briefly mentioned a little bit earlier, very nice matte black finish. It takes advantage of like those Nordic runes, and I don't necessarily know what they mean. Maybe they mean Valhalla, maybe they're just generated in kind of random order. But it looks really cool. The text and the font, very clean, very like Scandinavian, just like the bottle. The cap itself is just like a twist off, so I don't expect any stopper in there. Like I'm just going to pop it and it's going to feel like a tin cap. When you get to the back of it, it has a little bit more information on the text on the drink itself, and kind of shows some illustrations of the different plants that are actually in the liqueur. So here's what it says. Valhalla is a true embodiment of the Nordic spirit. It is a uniquely delicious herbal shot from strong, sturdy, and aromatic herbs and bitters. Like the people of the north, these herbs not only survive the extreme seasonal changes of the region, but thrive in them. Valhalla is best served the Nordic way, straight up and cold, in the company of friends, and on a night to remember. And the herbs that it shows are Angelica sylvestris, Artemisia absinthium, and Achillea millefolium. Achillea millefolium I deal with all the time. It's like an ornamental plant. Artemisia absinthium, I think that's the absinthe, Artemisia. And then Angelica sylvestris, I'm not entirely sure what that is. Probably just like Angelica root that they put in gins as well. But very nice bottle. But it's nice, it's like you can feel the text, and it actually has a little bit of height to it. So it's very textured, and just it feels good in the hand. So that said, let's try it. Okay, so I'll open this up. Very easy to open up, especially with it just being a twist off. It smells a little bit more, like peppermint off it. And you still get maybe a little licorice, but initially my first kind of thought in my head was peppermint. So let's take a chance. Alright. So as you can see, it kind of has that darker brown color that you would normally see on like Jägermeister. The Muteman, for comparison's sake, was, I don't know how good it's going to show. It is a little bit more orange. At least to me it looks a little bit more orange. This seems a little bit more brown, amber toned. But let's take a whiff of it. I definitely smell the Achillea. I know that smell just from having dealt with the plant. You plant it a lot in California landscapes. It has a good drought tolerance. I didn't know it was like used herbally. I knew there's some like medicinal stuff on, at least for American and European Achillea varieties. But maybe that's part of its appeal. I don't really know what Angelica or Absinthium smells like by itself, but there's definitely a very herbal smell to it. Still less sweet, not as much licorice as the Muteman. I would just say it smells a little sharper. So let's see what it tastes like. Yeah, that's very different from the Muteman. Whereas on the last one, so the Muteman was kind of like a firework going off my brain and how the flavor hits. This to me reminds me more of like, I don't know, like a stream going to the ocean where you got one direct quick punch of flavor and then it spreads out into, you know, the different corners of your mouth. It's definitely much more bitter. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because you still have that sweetness, but it's kind of neat tasting kind of the bitterness of it, and you know, I guess the kind of brief synopsis of what a herbal liquor was or where it came from is that European monks would like mix these different herbs with liqueur and tout them as like having medicinal health benefits. So in a way, the fact that it has kind of a little medicine-y taste maybe appeals to that lore. And it's not bad considering, you know, I knew what I was getting into when I was trying it, and again, I don't necessarily need it to be easy drinking like Jaeger. Overall, I definitely think I like the Muteman a little bit better, but the Valhalla is, you know, just maybe a little bit less vibrant. However, it does say it's best served chilled and with friends, so it is a significantly less expensive bottle than the Muteman. I think it was about, at the time, maybe 12 something euro in Estonia. So if this is for 12 something, you can have a good evening with your friends. It's really cold out, going to a sauna, whatever. I do think it's worth your time and money, and it would still go good as in a Jaeger bomb. So with that said, hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe, and until next time, keep sipping.